This show is called Signed Venus. Good luck, Hayden. You obviously need it.
So what?
This is where you tell me the story, right? You know, the one about how you ended up with a blue hippie bus from the 60s.
Did y'all have a hippie phase too?
Just the wannabe Americans. Well, probably, anyway. It's not as if I was born yet.
I don't know if I'd say there's a whole story, but... Well, I was still in California.
Right.
And I don't know. So it works, so you know how I was living with my sister before I moved here to help with taking care of baby Gabby?
You make it sort of hard to forget, Cam.
Yeah, well, my niece is the cutest ever, so you can deal. So anyway, she's a mechanic. My sister, not Gabby.
Right.
So she fixed it.
But how did she get it?
When your sister gives you a going-away present in the form of a very rare, very old bus that she spent months fixing so you'd be able to drive it without worrying it's going to break down, you don't just ask her where she got it from.
Wow. You know, if someone else were telling it, that probably would be a story.
Put it on your blog, then.
I think I will.
Yeah. Along with how you made Mirah read to us from that book for hours. And hours. And hours.
It's not really a book. It's a serial, because there's numerous issues.
I still can't believe you did that.
Mirah actually knows the writer. I can reread Signed Venus 1,000 times, but that's not the same as hearing it from someone who actually knows the writer's voice.
Okay, fine. That's still one big favor you asked for, though.
Not like they did any of the other ones I asked. I can't believe we're really going to Arabella.
I'm excited to see what all the hype's about.
I've reread those issues more than any of the others. Arabella was the writer's first stop, and it sounds so beautiful, and the people seem so friendly. And also, Cameron, we have to meet the person from the cafe. They're one of the most important in the series.
I'm not knocking it. Arabella's the one you said probably looks like Grease, right?
Yeah, that one. The drawings look a bit like that. And remember when Mirah was reading it? Now, look, I'm not the type who can't own up to it when I've done something hasty.
But if you could see for yourself what a stunner Arabella is, you wouldn't blame me for not stopping to write till I got on one of the boats. I won't even pretend I regret it. Not with the view you get out here. White buildings carved out of stone, sea glass ornaments that sparkle from a mile off the mountain shore. Well, that first glimpse when I was driving up didn't stand a chance. I sure hope Arabella's an outlier, because if Coast Venus is forced out of the top 5 most beautiful places in Conclair, my poor heart is going to break.
Where's the writer getting their top 5 list anyway? I can never find any.
It's a joke, Cameron. The only place in Conclair anyone knows things about is Coast Venus.
Yeah. Right. Gee. Y'all really just don't have any lists like that?
Well, Coast Venus does. Top 5 best photo op spots and whatever.
Yeah, I know about those. I read all the ones I could get my hands on before I moved, so I'd be prepared. A lot of it looks just like California, which is nice. What about the capital? Got any touristy lists for them?
No one actually goes to Urbina.
What kind of capital?
They've got these cool buildings and stuff, I think. Underwater architecture. You've seen photos, I'm sure.
Of course I have. It's architecture underwater. But I didn't know nobody goes there. That doesn't make any sense. Buildings with nobody in them?
Maybe international people go there? Conclair doesn't really like the government, generally. That's why all the towns stuffed the capital into a tiny corner of the map. Now they have to leave us alone.
And that actually worked? DC being in a corner never did anything for us.
It has to be on purpose.
I'll put that on my Instagram for the folks back home. Anyway, what's your government do to get that treatment?
I don't know. I don't think Coast Venus cared that much. But, it's super millennial to be anti-establishment.
Ah, so Conclair is entirely populated by millennials.
That's why it's so cool, right? Wrong. The right is not a millennial. Your reaction time's lagging, Cam.
So's yours. We're almost there and you didn't even notice.
What?
I can tell jokes too.
Oh my god, Cameron, you really scared... Wait, we actually are almost there though.
Layered jokes. I thought the waters at Coast Venus were clear. That's something else.
It's turquoise, just like the writer said. There's supposed to be lots of jewelry stands here. We have to get you a necklace or something.
Made of sea glass and shells? Yeah. Looks like that's what everyone's wearing.
We're really here? Oh my god, 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 oh my god.
Oh, how excited are you? On a scale of 1 to 10.
A billion.
Perfect. So, where to? Soon to be most famous writer in Coast Venus.
Second most famous, Cameron.
I said what I meant.
We're going in the order the writer went in. So before the cafe, we have to find the Ultramarine.
That's the boat, right?
It's the boat, yes.
They don't have cruise ships out here on Arabella. Why would they? They're not like us, back home on Coast Venus. They've got nowhere to cruise too. But that didn't stop the townsfolk from directing me towards the Ultramarine. A fishing boat operated by Captain Val, or Auntie Valeria, as she keeps referring to herself in the third person. A woman who could be anywhere between a foot to a foot and a half shorter than me, with a face that's red as a tomato, for reasons unrelated to the sun that's utterly blazing out here.
Wait, what's wrong with her face then?
Nothing wrong with passion, Cameron.
That description's not super detailed though, right? There's so many people here, how are we supposed to
I was thinking of you when I caught that one. I thought to myself, old Zareen loves mackerel. I'm gonna grab this mackerel royalty right out of the sea for him. And I'll be damned if I let anyone else touch it. So you enjoy that, you hear me?
That's her.
Ow, ow, Hayden, let go of my arm.
Cameron, that's her.
How do you know? Hey, seriously, let go.
Sorry, but Cam, besides what she's saying, which is a dead giveaway, she looks exactly like the drawing.
Maybe the descriptions were better than I thought. Jeez.
The air smells like salt water, fish, and bait. But it's not as unsavory a combo as you'd probably expect. Definitely not with the grin the captain wears when she tells me, "You get used to it after a lifetime on the sea." She's obviously a staple of the place. Ties not so fast, it makes me think. In another life, she could have had a lucrative career as a kidnapper. Just watching her makes my fingers hurt with phantom rope burn. The boat's floors practically gleam from scrubbing, and She's got a knack for telling stories that makes me glad she's not in the travel biz, because I'd be out of a job.
She's so amazing, Cameron. She even gave the writer a ride on her boat, and they went out to see the really pretty water, Cameron.
It's not like I was gonna say no.
Yeah, but you plus water equals fun, and so...
Aww.
Let's go introduce ourselves.
And ask for a boat ride?
Absolutely. Hi, I'm...
Who are you?
Oh, I was just about to say, my name is Hayden, and this is Cameron.
Yeah. Nice boat.
I've never heard of a Cameron, or a Hayden for that matter. And I sure don't recognize either of your faces.
Well, you see, we're not actually from here. I realise that's probably very unusual, because you, don't get many visitors, right?
We don't get any visitors. We don't even get unwanted guests. Did you get lost?
That's definitely possible. Actually,
No, we're not lost. Actually, we were looking for you. You're Captain Valeria, right? Of the Ultramarine?
Yup, that's me. And that's her, the Ultramarine. And I think it's my turn to lead the conversation.
Oh, of course. Sorry for being rude.
Why were you looking for me?
Well, you,
when we were still lost, we were drawn to how pretty the ocean is here. Someone mentioned that you give boat rides. They probably made a mistake, though.
I'd say.
Ah, what a weird mix-up. We'll get out of your hair now.
but...
Actually, I think I'm still in charge of the conversation here. And what I'm thinking is, I don't care what kind of mix-up you two got into for such an unbelievable little story to take place in my town. When you step away from this boat, you're walking straight out of Arabella. Are we clear?
Clear as water, although we'll be bussing out of here, not walking.
Ugh.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Cameron,
I don't know, I'm panicking.
we're sorry for, lying about something that happened in town you obviously know super well.
Try it again. I dare you.
Actually, I think it'd be easier to just tell the truth.
Can we not?
You got your turn to mess up.
That doesn't mean it's your turn now.
So, we're from Coast Venus, which is a little northwest from here. And, like Cameron said, we came here on a bus. Because, someone once travelled from my town to Arabella, and I guess it was a really good experience for them. They talked about meeting you you took them on a boat ride. They said you have a knack for telling stories and that you're really passionate about the ocean.
I rather think I'd remember that. Who was this person?
No one knows, actually.
Do you two know anything?
We know some things.
Mm-hmm.
And anyway, if it helps, they talked about, writing on your boat. Not physically onto the boat, of course, that'd be ridiculous. I mean, they had paper, probably, that they wrote on while they were on the boat. Well, it could have been on their phone, actually, now that I think about it, I guess. Since it was only like 10 years ago, and 10 years ago isn't 2001 anymore.
Get out of here.
What?
You don't want to make me repeat myself too many times, kid.
Oh, I didn't mean...
I said, get out of here. Out. Don't turn around. Don't look back. Right now, you are going to walk across those docks, get back on your bus, go all the way back to wherever the hell you came from, and don't come back.
But I thought...
Hayden!
Get out!
Cameron, my arm!
Hayden, she's mad and you're not moving.
And stay away from my boat.
Why is she...
Come on, we have to go!
Back to Coast Venus? But we still haven't met the...
Away from the Ultramarine!
This didn't go at all like how they wrote it.
Thank you for listening to Signed Venus. Signed Venus was created and written by Reese, Patterson, and Serena Rahhal. This episode featured the voices of Ren as Hayden, Michael McKitt as Kameron, Emma Sherr-Ziarko as Captain Valeria, Serena Rahhal as Mirah, and Tesneem Rahhal for the opening. Music and audio editing by Reese, Patterson, and Serena Rahhal. Script editing by Alex Lynn. If you're looking for more audio dramas to listen to, it's our pleasure to recommend Side Questing, a super cute and fun podcast about a fantasy adventurer doing their best to help people out while avoiding the main plot. Here's their trailer.
Aren't adventurers supposed to have a specific purpose? What are you doing on this quest? Just meeting strangers?
Yep, my purpose is to have no purpose. Though, I sort of find purpose as I go.
My basket! It's missing!
I have tried many means of defense, but none have yet proven successful.
I just wish someone would succeed in getting that darn sword.
I am under attack by this ruffian!
I want to be big and strong and fight evil.
I have hope that if you show up at her door, she might listen.
Want to help me yell at them? With your sword? In a threatening manner?
Sidequesting is a fantasy podcast about avoiding the main plot. It follows Ryan, an adventurer who's willing to help just about anyone out, as long as they're not being asked to deal with that scary wizard everyone keeps talking about. Subscribe today on your favorite podcast app.
If you'd like to help support the production of Signed Venus Part 2, you can donate to our fundraiser at ko-fi.com/signedvenus. That's ko-fi.com/signedvenus, all one word. Thank you so much. Your support means the world to us. To stay up to date with the latest Signed Venus news, follow us at Signed Venus on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and Tumblr. You can also sign up for email updates, learn more about the show, access episode and trailer transcripts, and find fun stuff like quizzes and playlists on our website at signedvenus.com. And finally, if you're looking for a good cause to support, we want to shout out Islamic Relief's Coronavirus Appeal. Islamic Relief is an organization that provides support for a variety of different causes worldwide, in forms that can include providing food, medical supplies and aid, orphan sponsorship programs, and more. Their coronavirus appeal specifically focuses on providing health and hygiene support to vulnerable people. Their website is islamic-relief.org. If you're in Canada, you can go to islamicreliefcanada.org, all one word with no hyphens, to help support people in Syria, Yemen, Gaza, as well as within Canada in protecting against coronavirus. Your support would mean a lot to us. Thanks for riding with us, and we'll see you on the road.